Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again today. We continue our journey through Achille Mbembe and the world he calls the post-colony. Last time, we talked about God follows. Today, we push the conversation further. We look at the idea of the one. We look at narcissism. We look at divine possession. And we look at how all these ideas shape our politics and our daily life. Take a breath, relax, let us walk together. I'm going to divide this class into different chapters. Chapter 1, we will look at the idea of the one. Many people have asked me that they don't understand what I mean by the idea of the one. I'm going to clarify some of these concepts in this video. Just get your pen and follow on with me. The idea of the one is simple. It is the desire to be the only voice in the room, the only head in the community, the center of every decision. Mbembe says the ruler in the post-colony tries to occupy all space and refuses the presence of any other voice. Let me explain it with a simple picture. Imagine a teacher who believes every answer must come from him. If a student knows something he does not, he gets angry. He turns learning into a performance. He wants to stand alone at the front forever. That is the fantasy of the one. It lives in schools, it lives in offices, and it lives in our politics. We have even had community leaders say things like, "This place cannot have two heads." That is the one speaking. Now we move to part 2, Narcissism of Power. Narcissism means power has fallen in love with itself. It wants praise. It wants applause. It becomes angry when ignored. Mbembe says the sovereign demands adoration. He wants public rituals that prove loyalty. Let me paint a picture. A child draws a picture, you clap. The child smiles. But he does not stop. He drags people to come and clap again. If someone laughs, he cries and tears the paper. That is what insecure power looks like. We see this in Africa a lot. Leaders put their faces on giant billboards. A small project is done, the praise becomes bigger than the work. Eric Fromm calls this collective narcissism. A whole community begins to exaggerate the greatness and takes any criticism as attack. Part 3, Divine Possession. Divine possession happens when power believes it has been chosen by a force higher than the people. This is not ordinary religion. This is political spirituality. Mbembe says the state tries to wrap itself in sacred ritual to gain the aura of divine authority. Here is an easy picture. A man tells his community that God told him to lead. If someone disagrees, he says they are fighting God. The argument becomes spiritual. Reason disappears. We see this during the election. A candidate says God sent him. After that, his followers stop asking questions. Anyone who criticizes him, that is the chosen one, is now seen as an enemy of heaven. Talal Assad explained that once power becomes sacred, to question it becomes a taboo. Chapter 4 or Part 4, Monotheistic Politics. Monotheistic politics means there is only one truth in the land, only one story, only one narrative. Every other voice must disappear. Mbembe says monotheistic power eliminates the possibility of a second center. Let me explain it with a simple image. Imagine a market with only one shop. The shop controls the price. It controls the quality. It chooses when to open or close. People have no choice, so they accept anything. That is how monotheistic politics works. We see this when reporters who ask difficult questions are blocked from press conferences. We see this when opposition groups are denied public venues. We see this when protest is banned. Larry Diamond calls this the shrink of political space. Part 5. Violence as response to dissent. Whenever narcissistic power feels threatened, it becomes violent. It sees disagreement as disrespect. It sees correction as humiliation. That is what Mbembe referred to, or when he says, that is what Mbembe means when he said, dissent becomes a kind of sacrilege in the eyes of the ruler. Here is a picture. A parent shouts at a child simply for suggesting a better way to do something. The issue is not the suggestion, the issue is pride. The parent feels wounded. Some governments behave this way. Youth activists are detained. Peaceful protests are dispersed. Whistleblowers are transferred to remote posts. Violence becomes a way to protect injured pride. In conclusion, when you put all these ideas together, you begin to see a clear picture. A leader who wants to be the one. A leader who loves praise. A leader who believes he is chosen. A leader who rejects a leader who rejects every other truth. A leader who reacts with force when challenged. This is the world Mbembe described in On the Post-Colony. And this is a word we still recognize today. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I remain your host, Osho Abiodun. See you in the concluding episode of On the Post-Colony.